Hey everyone, my name is Ixie, and this is part 2 of my video about the magical properties of the flat 6 chord. But first, what do I mean by flat 6? In a major scale, each note is labeled 1 through 7 ascending to designate its position in the scale, basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in C major, 1 is C, but in A flat major, 1 is A flat. When a scale is minor, the 3rd, 6th, and 7th degrees are all lowered or flattened. So now it's 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. The flat 6 chord is the major chord that is built on top of the flat 6 scale degree. This chord is naturally occurring or native to the natural minor and harmonic minor scales. All right, let's get going.
Want something I can never have.
Never have. Add 9. Now that example from Something I Can Never Have reminded me of the add 9. In a way, this is sort of similar to the example of the major 7th chord, or like a 7th. Here we're going to have a 9th. The reason it's called a 9th is because it goes just past the octave, which is sort of like 8. Can you feel the incompleteness that creates? If it were to resolve up, we might feel some kind of satisfaction, relief. It can also resolve down. So a 9th is an extension. It's a 3rd above a 7th. So it's like if you just kept going, like. These are all 3rds, which is an incredibly beautiful chord, right? Oh, and when you leave some of the notes out, it's even prettier. So let's say we're in C, the add 9 is gonna be D, but you can also voice it down here. So to bridge this gap of like the 7th, the 9th, here's an example from the new Halsey album that was protrented. It was protrented. It was produced by Trent, Reznor, and Atticus Ross. So the song I'm thinking about is Bells in Santa Fe, which is probably my favorite from that record. It's really, really pretty.
I could hold you in the dark. You won't even notice me depart. Secondhand writing. Don't wait for me, don't wait for me, wait up.
So it just starts in A. Don't call me by my name, just a slip away. Maybe I could hold you in the dark. There's our 9th. You won't even notice me depart.
So don't wait for me, wait up. It's not a happy ending. Don't wait for me, wait up.
And now for a Radiohead example. This is possibly my favorite Radiohead song. I'm not sure, but it's called Reckoner. And it reckons my heart. I'm about to get wrecked. Sorry, I'm just in a mood today. I'm talking about my favorite chord. So Reckoner starts off with the 1 chord. There's our flat 6. It's just for a moment, but it's enough. It's enough to kill me. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then the lyrics when he goes, you dedicated to all you. Oh, there's the flat 6 chord just over and over again. Dedicated to all human beings is just flat 6 chord heaven. All right, I've made my point. It's incredible. Before we continue, I just want to define something that I didn't define in my first video, which is what is the tonic? The tonic is the note that the key of the song is in. So if the key is C, the tonic is C. When I say tonic chord and when I say home, I mean arriving at the place where the song feels the most at rest and resolved. This is the chord that typically the song would end on. Now, you probably have noticed that most of these chord progressions aren't just the tonic chord, the 1 chord, and the flat 6 chord. There are other chords, usually 1 or 2 others around it, and they do have some sort of influence on how powerful the chord progression is, for sure. I'm not saying that it's only the flat 6 chord, but I'm also saying that you can have a chord progression with just the tonic and flat 6 chord, and you will not need anything else because it's that good. The other chords can increase the potency of the flat 6 chord. It can also be independent. You know, it's interdependent. It's a healthy chord. Part of the reason the flat 6 chord works so well with the tonic chord is that they actually have 2 common tones. For this reason, melodies that sound really good over the 1 chord also sound really good over the flat 6 chord. They're so alike and so different at the same time. So here are some examples. I got a Deftones, I got another Radiohead, and I got a Björk. All is Full of Love, the first chord in the chorus. And I just did a whole video on that song. So if you want to learn more about that, here's the link. Wow, Björk, you are, oh, and she's belting it. Hear that 9? Here's a Deftones example, and I was really excited to find an example from Deftones because I love their music, but I wasn't sure if I'd ever heard the flat 6 chord. I was like going through it in my head, and I was like, I actually don't think they really used it very often, but I found one, and it's from White Pony, the song Knife Party.
Come sit inside my bones. All the fiends on the block.
This one's less obvious because they're not voicing the chord like a triad. A triad has a root, a third, and a fifth, but a suspended chord replaces the third with either a second or a fourth, in this case, the second, or sus2. This can make things sound a little bit more ambiguous and be a bit disorienting. Come see, what is that? Is that a tritone? Uh-huh. There is a tritone between the flat 6 and the 2nd degree of a scale. That's probably not heard very often because the 2nd degree, it's a very tense note and it wants to go down to the tonic or sometimes up to the 3rd, but it's not a place of rest. Deftones, I think, actually hang out on the 2nd degree a lot, which might be part of their sound. So we get to hear that tritone. My knife, do you hear that? My knife, oh, there's the 7th. All the fiends on the block. In here, there's that tritone again. We are all anemic. In here, oh my God. Flat 6, 1, flat 6, 1. You don't need another 1. And another Radiohead example from A Moon-Shaped Pool, which came out in 2016, and it is so good. If it's something that you kind of like, I'm not into Radiohead's new stuff, please go check it out. The song I'm talking about is called Full Stop. The beginning of the song is in some sort of limbo where we're just kind of dancing around the tonal center, not really having a chord progression. But it's when the song really kicks in and he starts singing what I think is Truthful Medicine. That major 7th chord. Oh, okay, so here's another 2nd degree creating a tritone. Oh, it's heartbreaking. Because a tritone has to resolve. Well, it doesn't have to, but it wants to. I'm just out of words. It's just so beautiful, I can't stand it. So please go check out that song. And the last example I have for this video of the power of the flat six chord is as an unanswered question. There are times when the flat six chord is emphasized even more than the tonic chord, and that is a little unusual. Some chord progressions even start with the flat six chord and end with them, and the tonic is sort of just nestled in between, or almost like you just sort of passed by it without noticing, right on the way back to this question where you're like, and? But there really never is an answer. So the first example is Rhubarb by Aphex Twin. This chord progression starts and ends with the flat six chord, and I'll point out where we get to the tonic so you can hear that tension. But not for long. Exquisite, right? The power of the flat six chord, my friends. The power of the flat six chord. Amen. And my last example is by an artist I haven't talked about at all on this channel, and that's Little Dragon. They have this song that just pulls at my heartstrings like no other, called Twice.
Twice I turned my back on you. I fell flat on my face but didn't lose. Was it the blue night gone fragile? Was it both the man in wonder steady gone under?
So this piano starts off just doing the tonic and fifth, so we know we're gonna get that major seventh, and we do. There it is. That's what we start with. And then, is it a wonder? Oh, is that an add 9? I bet you it is. Yep. Do you feel like, even though we do hit the tonic, just for a second, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like we're just left there, and that's where I'm gonna leave you. For those of you that want a little bit more information about like how to find the flat six chord, how to voice it, I'll have a little blurb here after the outro, but I just wanna say thank you so much for watching. And if you have any examples of the flat six chord that you know and love, please leave a comment because I must know. I must find all the flat six chords. My precious. If you like the video, like it, subscribe, turn on the bell so you don't miss any other videos, and also maybe check out my Patreon if you really want to support what I'm doing. Okay, so if you write music and you want to find the flat six chord, you can count semitones. On a guitar, that's going to be frets. On a piano, it's going to be individual keys. So let's say we're in C, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 semitones down. So the flat six of C is A flat. There it is. And then we can build a major triad. So many ways to think about it, but probably the easiest way is to put a perfect fifth above it and then fill it in with a major third. Flat six chord achieved. If you want to add a seventh on top of it, then you're going to add another third essentially. It's a major third, which is 4 semitones as well, or you can find the octave above that bottom note and just count down 1 semitone. There we go. If you want to find the add 9, find the octave above that note, that root note, and go up 2 semitones or a whole step. Also, you can experiment with dropping the fifth of the chord because typically you don't need it as much as you need the other notes to express the quality of the chord. Instead of try inverting it, try reorganizing, try spreading things apart. Okay, I hope that helped.